And especially people like Corrupt, like I think he's like such a sick MC, lyricist, the way he puts his things together, his words, his flow, all that stuff. So just having that kind of a relationship with people like that, you know, sometimes it's surprising to me that those are people that I'm cool with, you know, like people like Corrupt and even people like Maestro. Like, man, I used to watch Maestro all the time, you know, and sit there and see when they used to go to Cut Creator in Scarborough and see all the green Pathfinders and the Dope State jackets and be like, Maestro's over there, holy cow, I get all nervous and stuff like that. And now me and him are cool. He hit me up on text me the other day, and he texted me and he's like, I'm on the plane with Rowdy Piper. I was like, are you serious? I texted him, I said, tell him Choclair said, what's up? So like, you know, like that type of relationship and having that type of thing with other people.
And Exhibit?
And Exhibit, like I went on the road with him for this Lyricist Lounge tour. Like we shared a limo we were going to go from Philadelphia to New York to go to party. And so just that, like all that, Mixmaster Mike, Rozelle, like just people, and just, like, you know, I've met some really cool people, you know, people that I'm fans of, and so it's just always cool because I'm a fan of them, and they're cool with me, just for the fact that I can say, yeah, they're actually, like, you know, I'm a friend of theirs, Redman even, like, you know, and I'm like, wow, Redman, I saw her open for Redman and Barry, Red and Meth, and I remember, I'll show you a quick story with Red when I first met him. I was out in LA, and I'm looking like just how we were looking across here, and I look across the room, and I'm like, is that Redman? I'm not sure, and I'm sitting there focused in, trying to figure out if that's him. And he's walking through, and the place is packed. He's walking through, and then I see Method Man behind him, and I'm still trying to figure it out because I was like, man, is that him? And he just walks up, motherfucking Choclair. I'm like, how the hell do you know me? He's like, because we had the #1 album in every other country but Canada. Because in Canada, you were #1. And I was like, word out. He's like, yeah, cool like that.
And how is it winning Junos for your work?
Man, well, I won actually 5 Junos, 5 Much Music Awards.
Very amazing.
And yeah, it's great, man. You know, like, you know, it's always great to be acknowledged, you know what I mean? So that's always good. You know, I don't necessarily just do it to go and get those, but when they come, they feel sweet.
And Greenhouse Music, tell us about it, being independent and leaving Virgin Music.
Well, yeah, like it was just a transition. Like the music industry was changing at that point, you know, like, you know, with the inception of things like iTunes and all these other different things. So, you know, just going on. But, you know, I started independent. You know, I started putting out vinyl. Like I put out 11 to 17 singles, vinyl albums, and some of the artists' first records, like Cardinal's first record, and Julie Black's first record, and Marvel, and, you know, Chaos is not his first record, but Chaos's record. Like I put these things out already independently. So when I was and do it, you just go back and you take the knowledge that you learned from being on a major label, and then you incorporate that into the knowledge of being on your own and doing it, you know.
And how do you like Vancouver?
I love Vancouver. I love coming out to the West Coast, man. It's I enjoy Vancouver. I enjoy everywhere about it. Here, Vancouver, Whistler, Victoria last night, Kelowna, Kamloops, everywhere. I like it.
And how do you feel about hip-hop today and what needs to change?
I think hip-hop today is great. I think the only thing that needs to change is some artists. You gotta remember about the skill of being a hip-hop artist, which is your flow, your delivery, or whatever. The music, whatever type of music you want to do and what vibes of music you're on, that's your choice, that's your decision. But I still do think that they gotta remember the artistry of what it is to be an MC. And I'm not saying you have to be all super lyrical, technical, la la la, and stuff like that. But just keep that in mind when you're doing your music. But other than that, I'm glad that hip-hop is as big as it is. I'm glad that you can't get away from it. I'm happy that they have T.I., Jay-Z, F.I.A., and Lil Wayne performing at the Grammys. You know, I like that. That used to, you almost have to beg for hip-hop to be on TV. Now it's everywhere. So I'm really happy.
And your new record, tell us about this.
We got the new record. It's called Made, Move Mountains, and It was just something that I've been doing. Like, a lot of times what I did was, I took time off to go and, raise my daughter and raise my son. And for like the past 4 or 5 years or whatever, and I just was chilling doing that. I was actually really enjoying it. And, I come out and do a show here and a show there or whatever. And people would just keep saying, yo, Shocks, man, we really want you to do, we're missing the music and everything like that. We need some more Choclair music. We need some more Choclair songs. And so I made it. I just went and I made the tune. And it wasn't something, like a lot of people will say to me, they'll be like, it's very inspirational. They like it. They like that it's very motivational and everything. And the funny thing is that I didn't target it to be like that. I just made, again, just like how me and Socks made music before, I just made songs. And usually a lot of the songs that I do will somewhat and somehow reflect my own personal being anyways, right? So that was just something that I put out there. And I think that's one of the things why people are really cool with, like with my music and everything, is because I always just go and I just come real from myself, you know what I mean? I don't try to be anything more than I should. I don't try and play a role or play a part. I just do me in music. And that was me doing music. And there's so much more. Like it was produced by these new cats called PHS in Toronto, and there's so much more music. Like there's a song called Fired Up I did with this guy named C4. And, and people are like responding really well to it. They're like, yeah, man, Choclair, this is why we love Choclair.
And what can we expect from it?
Man, you're gonna see me just expand the brand as much as I can. You're gonna have you got like when I started there was a handful of people doing it. You had the Rascals, myself, Mishi, and a few other people and stuff like that. Now you have artists. You have like Cardinal, and you have Drake, and you have Andrina, and you have I think his name's P. Rain, and all these different artists doing and Checkmate and Concise and cats like that. So now it's like there's so much more going on in it. So where having the opportunity to go and try and expand everything, especially the scene, and do stuff that can help expand the scene, whether it's getting into something like just something whatever. Like when I did my shoes with Reebok, when I put out my own shoes, it was like something that was different. And people weren't even expecting it. But now companies like shoe companies are more, especially in Canada, maybe they're more doing it in the US, but in Canada they'll go and invest and make a man's shoe and do whatever. And however we can go and continue to make that happen and make it able to create that industry, because not everybody's got to be a rapper. There's so much room and area to go and do something in the industry. You can be a management, you can be a producer, you can just be a promoter, you can be whatever. And so creating those situations where the business side of hip-hop, because that's what was lacking in Canada a lot, actually is there, and people who understand the music and can support it and will know and be able to go and link people up on certain things. Those are the type of things that I'm going to try and expand, and that's what I'm going to do with my new music.
And what is the biggest crowds that you've ever rocked?
Oh man, Germany was about 40,000 people. I remember doing Molson Park with the Beastie Boys. That was about 20,000, 30,000 people. I've been in front of some big crowds. Like, Snoop Dogg, like doing, what's it called, Plaza Nations in Vancouver. That whole place was ram-packed and there. And then we did nothing but arenas all across the country. So, Air Canada Centre, Sky Dome. Like I've performed a lot of places in front, and it's great. Even big places, small places, they both have their goods and their goods. The big place you're rocking in front of a whole bunch of people, it feels very big or whatever. You do a smaller show like a place like here, it's good because it's very intimate and you're in front of the people and you get to talk to them and they talk back to you and the energy is just always going to be there. So
And what is your best Canadian hip-hop memory that you've been part or contributed of?
That's a good one. I don't think I have just one. I don't have just one.
I'd like to share a few.
Yeah, like, being a part of the Northern Touch situation, being a part of the Rap Essentials tour when nobody was touring in Canada, and, it was tough. It was me, Danny O, YLK, Monolith, all of us cramming in an 11-seater van, just driving across the whole country, doing stuff like that. Like those are character builders. Those are things that you will never forget, and you remember and you appreciate. And then you coming out and you see the love like going to Nelson, BC, and watching people breakdance to no music on a box by a waterfall. Like, I'm like, what's going on here, you know? But they're breakdancing on a box, just, I don't know what, I couldn't even do it, but they were breaking. And, you know, so things like that, and going out to the East Coast and being screeched in Newfoundland, like stuff like that, like everything, being in Scotland, going on a double-decker bus, touring, looking like a straight tourist with the camera around me and flashing and sitting on the top of the double, doing all that, you know. Those are all the things, and all those places, have been things that I bring into my experience doing music, into my experience of when I do my stuff here, that will help go and other people do their thing as well, you know.